Welcome back to our channel, Soap fans. Today is a beautiful, fantastic day to dive deep into the most explosive, jaw-dropping drama unfolding in Port Charles. We have a sensational, heart-stopping update that will leave you absolutely breathless. Grab your seats, hold on tight, and brace yourselves, because the latest General Hospital spoilers are about to blow the roof off completely. The sterile, suffocating atmosphere of General Hospital serves as the backdrop for a cataclysmic emotional explosion that will alter the Spencer family forever. Jocelyn Jacks is currently fighting her way back from the brink of death. Her body is battered, bruised, and broken following the horrific blood-soaked shootout at Windermere. The rhythmic, agonizing beeping of the heart monitors echoes through the quiet room. It is a constant, terrifying reminder of how close Carly's fierce, independent daughter came to losing her life. The ruthless violence of Ross Cullum and the WSB almost put her in a body bag. The bandages wrapping her torso, the IV lines feeding antibiotics into her veins, and the lingering scent of antiseptic all paint a grim picture. Jocelyn is pale, vulnerable, and grappling with severe physical and psychological trauma. The harrowing captivity on Spoon Island has left deep, invisible scars. Yet, amidst the pain and the bandages, an unexpected, fiery connection is rapidly blooming. Standing vigil by her bedside is none other than Agent Vaughn. The stoic, highly trained WSB operative has found himself completely captivated by Jocelyn's undeniable strength and resilience. Vaughn, a man conditioned to bury his emotions beneath tactical armor and strict agency protocol, has completely dropped his guard. He hasn't left her side since she was rushed through the emergency room doors. Vaughn was the one who pulled her from the wreckage. He was the one who laid down cover fire against Cullum's mercenaries, risking his own life to ensure she made it onto the medevac chopper. That shared crucible of violence and adrenaline forged an intense, unbreakable trauma bond between them. The desperate fight for survival and the intoxicating danger of their circumstances have changed everything. The professional distance is gone. Every gentle touch, every lingering glance, every softly spoken word in that quiet hospital room builds a magnetic, inescapable tension. Neither of them can deny it any longer. The air in the room is thick, heavy with unspoken desires, and raw, electric chemistry. Jocelyn looks up into Vaughn's intense, protective eyes. She feels a sudden rush of adrenaline that has absolutely nothing to do with her gunshot wounds. The professional boundaries and strict agency regulations completely fade away into the background. Vaughn leans in. His elite tactical training crumbles under the sheer weight of his undeniable attraction to this fierce, beautiful woman. The tension snaps. The distance between them vanishes. The inevitable collision of their worlds finally happens in the quiet solitude of the recovery ward. It is a passionate, desperate, and all-consuming kiss. Their lips meet in a fiery explosion of relief, survival, and raw, unadulterated longing. In that singular, breathless moment, Jocelyn completely forgets the agonizing pain radiating through her body. Vaughn completely forgets his sworn allegiance to the WSB. They cling to each other, a desperate anchor in the chaotic, violent storm of Port Charles. They exchange a kiss that speaks volumes of the terrifying ordeal they just survived together on the island. It is a moment of pure, cinematic romance. A beautiful surrender to the undeniable sparks that have been flying between them for weeks. But this beautiful, passionate embrace is blindly hurtling toward a horrifying, sickening brick wall that will shatter their lives into a million pieces. Down the brightly lit, sterile corridors of General Hospital, a frantic Carly Spencer is marching toward Jocelyn's room. Carly's maternal instincts are screaming at a deafening volume. She just survived the absolute terror of nearly losing her daughter to Cullum's madness. Her deep-seated, visceral hatred for the WSB is burning hotter than ever before. Carly has watched the agency tear her family apart for years. She has seen Jason vanish into their black sites, and she has seen Valentine Cassadine hunted like an animal. Now, the agency has its claws sunk deep into her daughter. Carly is on a desperate mission to force Jocelyn to quit the WSB. She wants to rip her daughter away from this dangerous, blood-soaked life immediately. Every step Carly takes is fueled by pure panic and a fierce, protective rage. She is completely unaware of the danger waiting for her in Jocelyn's room. It isn't a bullet or a rogue agent. It is a ghost from her own deeply buried, agonizing past. Carly reaches the door to Jocelyn's room. Her hand grips the cold metal handle. Her heart pounds a frantic, terrifying rhythm against her ribs. But as she peers through the small glass window, the breath is violently knocked from her lungs. The sight before her freezes the blood in her veins. A shockwave of pure, paralyzing terror crashes through her entire body. She sees her beautiful daughter, Jocelyn, locked in a deeply passionate romantic embrace with Agent Vaughn. For a split second, it looks like a touching moment of comfort. But then, the horrifying, sickening, soul-crushing reality of the situation slams into Carly with the force of a freight train. This isn't just a forbidden workplace romance. This is a biological nightmare of epic, tragic proportions playing out right in front of her eyes. Carly's eyes widen in absolute, unadulterated horror. The man kissing her daughter, the man holding Jocelyn with such intense, romantic passion, is not just a WSB agent. Carly's mind violently flashes back through the decades, tearing through the heavily guarded vaults of her darkest secret. The facial structure, the eyes, the undeniable biological markers. It all clicks together in a devastating, world-ending realization. The suffocating weight of a truth she thought was buried forever in the sweltering heat of Florida is suddenly standing right in front of her. It is a moment of visceral, stomach-churning panic. It pushes Carly over the absolute edge of sanity. She is watching her daughter cross a line that can never, ever be uncrossed. Unable to contain the explosive terror tearing her apart, Carly violently throws the hospital room door open. The heavy wood crashes loudly against the wall like a gunshot. The deafening noise shatters the quiet, romantic atmosphere into 1,000 jagged pieces. "Stop. Get away from her!" Carly screams hysterically. Her voice cracks with a frantic, agonizing desperation that echoes down the entire hospital wing. She lunges into the room, her hands trembling wildly. Her chest heaves as she physically inserts herself into the space, desperate to break the physical connection between them. The sheer panic in Carly's eyes is terrifying to behold. She looks like a woman watching her child step on a live landmine. Her entire being is consumed by the frantic need to stop the unthinkable from progressing a single second further. Jocelyn and Vaughn rip apart instantly. They are completely bewildered and deeply alarmed by Carly's explosive, violent entrance. Jocelyn, her face flushed and her heart racing, stares at her mother in total shock and rising anger. "Mom, what is wrong with you?" Jocelyn demands fiercely. She completely fails to understand the sheer magnitude of the crisis unfolding in the room. Vaughn immediately steps back. His tactical training kicks in as he assesses the perceived threat. He is completely confused by the sheer venom and terror radiating from Carly Spencer. The tension in the sterile hospital room spikes to an unbearable, suffocating level. The air grows incredibly heavy, thick with the impending detonation of a massive, life-altering secret. Carly is hyperventilating. Hot tears stream down her face as she stares at the two of them. She collapses against the edge of the hospital bed. Her fierce, formidable Spencer matriarch persona completely disintegrates before their eyes. She is sobbing uncontrollably. Her hands cover her mouth as a visceral, agonizing wail escapes her throat. She cannot hold the secret back any longer. The horrifying reality of what she just witnessed demands the immediate, brutal exposure of the truth. You can't do this," Carly chokes out. Her entire body shakes with the force of her devastation. She looks at Vaughn, really looks at him. Her eyes are filled with a lifetime of guilt, sorrow, and agonizing maternal regret. The brilliant, sharp-witted Carly is reduced to a frantic, broken woman. Taking a deep, shuddering breath that sounds like glass breaking, Carly finally drops the ultimate bombshell. She travels back in time. Her voice trembles as she speaks of a desperate, terrified young woman in Florida. Years before she ever set foot in Port Charles, she had a secret pregnancy. Carly was just a girl herself back then, alone and terrified in the sweltering heat. She made the impossible choice to hand her baby over to strangers. She hoped to give him a better life, far away from the chaos that always followed her. The words spill from her lips in a frantic, devastating torrent. It culminates in the most horrifying, reality-altering sentence ever spoken in the halls of General Hospital. Carly looks Vaughn dead in the eye. Tears stream down her face as she screams the truth. "Vaughn, you are the son I gave up. Jocelyn, he is your biological brother." The absolute psychological devastation that washes over Jocelyn Jacks is immediate and entirely paralyzing. The horrifying realization of the incestuous boundary she just danced upon hits her with the force of a physical blow. The romantic, passionate kiss she just shared with Vaughn instantly curdles. It becomes a sickening, repulsive memory that makes her stomach violently churn. Jocelyn physically recoils, pressing herself deep into the hospital pillows. A look of pure, unadulterated horror twists her features. Jocelyn's mind violently replays every flirtatious smile, every lingering touch, every shared secret they exchanged over the past few weeks. What felt like the thrilling beginning of an epic romance has instantly mutated into a grotesque, forbidden nightmare. She feels physically ill. Her skin crawls with the realization that she almost committed the ultimate, unforgivable sin with her own flesh and blood. Across the room, Agent Vaughn undergoes a total, catastrophic identity crisis. The stoic, highly trained, unflappable WSB operative is completely shattered. He is reduced to a stunned, broken shell of a man. He stares at Carly Spencer. He looks at the fierce, formidable woman he has respected and negotiated with. Suddenly, he sees the mother who abandoned him all those years ago in Florida. The foundation of his entire existence crumbles into dust. The woman he just kissed is his half-sister. The woman screaming in the room is his biological mother. Vaughn stumbles backward. His back hits the cold hospital wall as he struggles to draw breath. His elite training offers absolutely no defense against this sheer, devastating psychological trauma. Discovering his true lineage in the most horrifying, traumatizing way imaginable completely destroys him. The silence that follows Carly's confession is deafening. The hospital room transforms into a suffocating chamber of tragedy and despair. 3 people are now hopelessly trapped in a nightmare of biology and fate. Their lives are permanently scarred by a secret that should have stayed buried forever. There is no going back from this. The romantic dynamic between Jocelyn and Vaughn has been violently, permanently destroyed. It is replaced by a sickening, traumatic reality that they will never be able to forget. Carly is left to watch the absolute destruction she has inadvertently caused. Her heart breaks into a million pieces as she witnesses the sheer horror and revulsion in her children's eyes. It is a tragic, inescapable Greek tragedy playing out in real time, and there is absolutely no clear path forward for any of them. The implications of this explosive revelation extend far beyond the sterile walls of General Hospital. It threatens to completely derail both Jocelyn and Vaughn's futures within the WSB. How can they possibly continue to work together in the high-stakes world of international espionage? The professional dynamic they have built is completely obliterated. Z, the mysterious and calculating head of the WSB, will undoubtedly have a field day with this catastrophic personal entanglement. Jocelyn's fierce determination to remain an agent is now heavily overshadowed by the unbearable psychological trauma. The WSB brought them together, but Carly's secret has violently torn them apart. The professional disaster mirrors the personal one perfectly. Everything they have worked for is now buried under a mountain of familial trauma and forbidden romance. As the dust settles on this cataclysmic, life-altering confession, the future of the Spencer family hangs precariously in the balance. The psychological scars inflicted in this hospital room will take a lifetime to heal. The relationships between Carly, Jocelyn, and Vaughn are forever fractured. Can Jocelyn ever look at Vaughn without feeling the sickening weight of their near-tragic mistake? Will Vaughn ever be able to forgive the mother who abandoned him, only to crash into his life in the most horrifying way possible? And how will Sonny Corinthos react when he learns the explosive truth about Carly's secret Florida son? The stakes have never been higher, the drama has never been more intense, and the fallout will be absolutely legendary. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. How do you think Jocelyn will survive this ultimate betrayal?